Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from Today I F'd Up. Our first post is by Turnip Downtown. Today I F'd up by dozing off on Zoom calls at my new job. Recently started a new job in February. My first 9 to 5 at a well-known company. Fully remote and work from home. Trainings are done by my supervisor sharing her screen and walking through the different processes there are to know. It's either me and her or me, another team member and her, our supervisor. Cameras are always off, by the way. Anyways, 2 weeks ago I fell asleep on one of the calls and woke up to myself on mute as they were finishing up, in time to say have a good one with everybody else. Didn't hear anything about this incident. Fast forward to yesterday, it was me, the team member and supervisor, going over something on Teams, and I started dozing off. I woke up to the call ended for me, but the other two still on the call. I tried to call back in, but they didn't answer. My supervisor messaged me when they were done and said, "Hey, checking in on ya, we lost ya." I made up an excuse of me having to reset my Wi-Fi, which was real dumb because I don't know if she was the one that kicked me off the call cause of no response, or God forbid I was snoring. Today she went over some stuff with me and took a break to say she just wanted to talk to me and make sure I'm alright, cause I've seemed a little out of it on a few of the trainings. She said she knows the information is tedious and it can be difficult to pay attention. She said she knows I've been feeling under the weather and wasn't sure if it was my medicine or whatnot. I am getting over cat scratch disease, which can make you drowsy. I told her the sickness, not medication, can cause that, but it's no excuse. Some of the information is hard to pay attention to as well. Prob shouldn't have said that part, but I apologize, and you have my full attention moving forward. She said, "Good, all right, glad we covered that." She said she wanted to check in with me and said if it happens again she'd have to take the next step and, right? Yeah. She didn't fully say, but I'm assuming write me up. I don't think anything happened in between these two different incidents, but I feel like an ass. I've always struggled with bad financial habits, being punctual and etc. It's become a worry point in my 10-year relationship. I'm 25 years old. My girl is done with worrying about my future, and if I'll be financially responsible and able to hold down a job or support our family. I didn't tell her about this incident, but I've struggled with money and jobs in the past, and I believe she'd leave me if I lost the job due to this F-up. Feel like crap, an ass, and immature. Our next post is by Knickenbocker. Today I F'd up by flipping my boss's $14,000 machine. First, I F'd up by not knowing that a trailer hitch that has 3 balls on it are actually 3 different sizes. I thought the one on top is big and the 2 on the sides were smaller but the same size. I'm an idiot. Pretty sure it says on top of the ball what the size is. Anyway, I was told to get the small trailer. So I flipped the hitch to the side and threw the trailer on it. Pulled up to the shop, dropped the trailer gate and went to get the turf storm. It's a scag machine that spreads granular fertilizer, grass seed, sprays chemicals, etc. So there I go, start it up, back out of the shop and pull over to the trailer gate. Now the gate isn't in the greatest of shape, so I was trying to be careful. My wife was up by the truck hitch watching and directing me, so I went up the good side of the gate. I start pulling up, going slow. Front wheels make it to the bed of the trailer, back wheels getting there. Boom, back wheels crest the top of the gate and beginning of the trailer bed, and all hell breaks loose. The ass end of the trailer, where I currently am, slams to the ground. Hitch flies upwards off the ball. I see the trailer almost standing straight up in front of me. That's when I realize the machine is about straight up as well. The machine that I'm standing on and is coming backwards onto me. I freaked and hopped off just in time to watch the machine keep rolling and land upside down right in front of me. I was beyond embarrassed, disappointed, and freaked out. For a split second, I thought about putting my hands up to try and push it back forwards in hopes it wouldn't flip, but quickly realized that's dumb and didn't want to die. This machine weighs about 900 pounds dry, both 15-gallon water tanks were full, and the spreader bin was also full of fertilizer, so no, I wasn't going to be able to stop this thing. I felt and still feel so bad. We got it flipped back right side up after a bit. Hope she still runs tomorrow. He bought it a few years ago new, at $14,000. Brand new today is about $17,000. F me. He was so calm and tried to help me not feel so embarrassed because he knew I was really beating myself up over it. I'm genuinely really lucky to have him as my boss and grateful that he didn't start screaming, or worse, fire me. I learned my lesson. Put it on the right ball and lift on that trailer before ever trying to put equipment on it. It is a really light trailer that you can pull to the truck by hand. Our next post is by Rebtech. Today I effed up by making a stranger feed me. So this was a few months ago, but I think I've only just got over the embarrassment. It was my 25th second anniversary with my partner. We didn't have much money at the time, so we had planned to have an evening just watching the sunset together. I wanted to make it extra special, so I planned a romantic picnic with a lovely bottle of wine, lemon cake, her favorite, and fresh raspberries. It got to our anniversary and disaster struck. The raspberries I had bought the day before were not fresh at all. In fact, they were rather moldy. So I went back to my local greengrocers to return them. The man behind the counter, let's call him Alec, was more than happy to do so and got me to pick out another box. So far so good, right? Well, what you need to know about me is that I'm an incredibly anxious person. On top of that, my fight or flight response, which happens quite a lot, is awful. I once saw a guy getting beaten up with a crowbar and tried to ask him politely if he needed help, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, I was already anxious because I felt like I was being really inconvenient by asking to return these raspberries. On top of that, I kind of knew Alec, and he always made me feel really uncomfortable when I was there. He's a bit weird around women. This added up to me being very anxious. So I take the new raspberries up to the counter and Alec asks me if they're up to my standard. He's kinda being weird and flirty. I'm trying to just take the raspberries and go, but he opens the box and holds one out for me to try. Now, a normal person in this situation would pick it up, right? But my anxious brain was in fight or flight mode, so I acted on instinct alone. And my instincts are terrible. So I lean down and eat the raspberry out of this man's hands, grazing his fingers with my lips as I go. As I realize what I've done, I look at him, knowing that he must be thinking one of three things. 1, I'm some kind of sex pest. 2, I'm a hand-licking weirdo. Or 3, that I'm into him. I'm not thrilled with any of these. Anyway, he clearly goes for option 3 because he gives me a big grin and offers me another. I laugh, grab my raspberries and run. Well, now he's even more flirty with me, and I don't know how to explain this to him, so I guess I just have to move countries. Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.